So guys, it's really getting out of hand, and we really have to fight anti-Semitism, because anti-Semitism has caused millions of people to die. It has caused societies to fall apart, and it has caused people to hate Semites. That's why it's called anti-Semitism. And we really have to fight this. And how can we fight this? We fight this with truth. You know, God's law is supposed to be a wall of fire where devils cannot even go through or don't even want to go through, right? But that wall of fire, God's law, is down, and we are now fighting anti-Semitism. But before you understand what anti-Semitism is, you first have to understand what the word means, right? The word Semite comes from Shem. Shem was one of the sons of Noah. Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japhet, right? And from the Semites came the Hebrews, right? And from this group of people, Abraham was chosen, right? So today there are people who call themselves Jews, and they are also combating anti-Semitism, but the irony is that they are not Semites, they are not Hebrews. And today's Jewish world, I think it's 85% Ashkenazi Jews, and they are not Ham, Shem or Japhet at all, right? The Ashkenazi Jews, they are a Turkic people, a mixed Turkic people with Caucasian people and Mongolian people, and they had the Khazar Empire, and they converted to this Talmudian Jewism, right? I think it was in the 8th century or something. Then that empire fell and they moved into Eastern Europe, right? Especially Poland, right? And they knew they were not Israelites. It was only in the 19th century that they started to identify as Israelites, right? So the real anti-Semitism is anti-Semites. And Shem was a white son of Noah, right? And these people are called to carry God's law, according to Paul, right? So it started out in the Middle East, in the land of Canaan, right? This is where the tribes of Israel lived. But the northern kingdom was divorced, right? Taken away by Assyria. The southern kingdom stayed behind, but also they were taken captive. And it was only the city of Jerusalem that was taken captive by Babylon. Now after 70 years the Israelites came back in the southern kingdom of Judah, but it was already filled with all kinds of other peoples, especially Edomites, right? Because Edomites are the sons of Esau. Esau started to intermix and intermarry with Canaanites, like Hittites, right? He even married the daughters of Ishmael. These became the Edomites. And when Babylon took the true Israelites away, Edomites moved in. By the time the few Israelites left came back in Judah, it was already a multicultural nation. And in 125 before Christ, they were circumcised and converted into Jewish religion. King Herod was an Edomite, and he installed Pharisees who were Edomites, and by blood they were the enemies of God, right? And after the whole place was destroyed, right? A lot of these Edomite Jews went into Spain. They became known as the Sephardic Jews, right? And they are Antichrist. By the way, anyone who rejects the Christ is an Antichrist, but especially these people have a special grudge for Christ because Christ fulfilled God's law, and the whole Edomite rulership was taken down. That's why Jesus said that he saw Satan fall from heaven. Right? This new kingdom started. This new covenant started. And who was the new covenant for? It was for the house of Judah and the house of Israel. After Jesus preached in Judah to the sheep of the house of Israel, right? He went to the lost sheep, and he was confronted by a Canaanite woman. He said, "I did not come but for the lost house, the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Right? They were going to be reconciled together with Judah. The two sticks became one, Judah and Israel. This all happened in Europe. Right? They had a new tongue, a new land, and they carried God's laws on their inner parts. They entered a new covenant. Right? And according to Malachi chapter 1, it was the Edomites who would return to Canaan and rebuild the desolate places, right? Which happened in 1948, right? So we really have to combat this anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism means anti-Christ, anti-white people, has caused millions and millions of people to die in Europe and Russia. It has destroyed the nations who were developed into Christian nations. It is destroying the Semite culture, the white Semite culture, right? It has taken Christ out of the schools, and it has caused all kinds of races to hate the white Semite, the white sons of Shem. That's why we have to fight anti-Semitism, right? Because when you look at the ADL, you see this front man, right? He looks like a Turk. So even if the narrative is that Noah had 3 sons, a black son, a white son, and an Asian son, there is still no modern day Jew in there. Because modern day Jews are neither black, nor white, nor Asian. Right? But of course, this is a false narrative. Right? Noah was perfect in his genealogy, the Bible says. He was perfect. He was a descendant of Adam. Adam means able to blush, to show blood in the face. Right? So, you cannot look at the Middle East now and assume that it looked the same way 2,000 years ago. Because in 700 after Christ, the Jews created this religion called Islam. And because these Jews never had an army themselves, they were few in numbers, not more numerable than the stars, they were few in numbers, so they needed an army. So they influenced the Arabs to unite under this new religion called Islam. And they started to intermix with their black slaves. That's why Arabs nowadays are a mixed race of blacks and whites. Right? And Edomites and Ishmaelites, it is a mixed race. Arab in Hebrew means mixed, to become darker. Right? So, the real anti-Semitism is the anti-white propaganda, which is spewed out day and night by the media, which is controlled by Edom. Because Edom, they killed Christ, they rejected Christ, then they killed him, and then they went into the nations of the ones who entered the new covenant, but they were rejected, kicked out for 1,000 years. But after 1,000 years, Satan would be released again. Right? So we are now entering the final battle between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. Right? So we have to start fighting anti-Semitism by truth. Right? Jesus said it, the truth shall make us free. God bless.